Happy Wednesday. Today you are reading Mr. Popper's Penguins. You're finishing the book, so chapters 19 through 20, it's page 115 to 139. Social studies, you should be done with your time capsule. Math, we're moving on to area. Remember, 25 minutes of IXL. So area is the inside of the shape. So it says use the formula A equals length times width. So in this rectangle, then multiply 8 length times 5 the width. So 8 times 5 equals 40. And with area, you write it square, whatever the label is. So the area of this shape is 40 square feet. So if it's a rectangular square, it's fairly easy to find out. If the shape is not a simple shape, then you have to break it into smaller parts. So it says you can draw segments to divide the figure into rectangles, then find the area of each rectangle and add. So they broke this into a square here and a rectangle here. You could also do it this way, whichever way is easier for you. So rectangle A, same formula, length times width. So 4 times 4 equals 16. But then we need to add rectangle B, which is 10 by 4, or 4 by 10, 40. So 16 plus 40, 56. So the area of this figure is 56 square meters. Now let's see if we can figure some out. Down here, the area of the rectangle, so length times width, the formula would be 9 times 2. And our label would be square meters, or right, m squared. This shape, we're going to break it up into smaller rectangles. A, B, C. So rectangle A is 4 by 6. And I know 6 times 4 is 24. Rectangle B, let's figure out how long it is. So this part's 10. Plus we have 4, so it should be 14. If this is 6, this is 10. 10 minus 4. Be 56. And then C is the same place as A. 6 by 4. $104. Our label is meters, so 104 meters squared, or square meters. Number 3, the area of a rectangle is 56 square inches. The width of the rectangle is 7 inches. What is the length? So what it's asking, our equation is length times width. So let's just plug our numbers in. So what times 7 equals 56? And then that will give us our answer. Religion today, we're still going to talk about Pentecost. Pentecost marks the end of the Easter season. For the past 50 days, we have celebrated Christ's resurrection from the dead and his glorious ascension into heaven. Now we celebrate the fulfillment of Christ's promise to send the Holy Spirit to lead his church into a new age. Read the story of Pentecost from Acts chapter 2, verse 1 through 11 below and answer the reflection questions. Then don't worry about this part right now. When the time for Pentecost was fulfilled, they were all in one place together. And suddenly there came from the sky a noise like a strong driving wind, and it filled the entire house in which they were. Then there appeared to them tongues as of fire, which parted and came to rest on each one of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in different tongues, as the Spirit enabled them to proclaim. Now there were devout Jews from every nation under heaven studying in Jerusalem. At this sound, they gathered in a large crowd, but they were confused because each one heard them speaking in his own language. They were astounded, and in amazement they asked, "Are not all these people who are speaking Galileans? Then how does each one of us hear them in his native language? We are Parthians, Medes, and Elamites, inhabitants of Mesopotamia, Judea, and Cappadocia, Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, Egypt, and the districts of Libya near Cyrene, as well as travelers from Rome, both Jews and converts to Judaism, Cretans and Arabs, yet we hear them speaking in our own tongues the mighty acts of God." So our questions: how were the gospel readings for this Sunday and the readings from Acts of the Apostles connected? So our other reading was what you worked on yesterday. How are they connected? So what does Jesus do in this one? Jesus fulfills the promise he makes in the gospel. So in Acts, Jesus fulfills promise from gospel. What did they both talk about? So they both taught us about the Holy Spirit. Number 2, why do you think it was necessary for Jesus to send the Holy Spirit? So why did Jesus need to send the Holy Spirit? What did the Holy Spirit do for the apostles? The Holy Spirit was necessary because he helped strengthen and guide the apostles. Because what were the apostles doing? They were establishing the church. And what are we preparing for? The second coming of Jesus. So if you need any more help, please let me know.